This episode is called Boom Goes the Dynamite. Now, the more astute amongst you will have figured out that this means I'll have something to say about AEW's Dynamite show. Well, yep, you're right. Now, stay tuned. The main event of this episode will be a recap of the Go Home Dynamite episode before the All Elite gang come down under for Grand Slam on the old jet airplane. All this and more on If You See Kayfabe. G'day wrestling mates, and welcome to yet another episode of If You See Kayfabe. I'm your wrestling mate from down under, Southern Joe. Now, a couple of things about the Dynamite episode that will be recapped. Firstly, with everything going on in my life, I lost track of a few dates. The episode name, Boom Goes the Dynamite, was one that just dropped into my brain during the last few days. It was then it occurred to me that it will be the go-home episode before the All Elite crew head to Brisbane. Pardon me. Also, this episode occurred on Wednesday, February 12th, 2025 USA time, but showed here in Australia February 13, our time. The significance? February 13 was my birthday. Now, before we go to the main event, let's do some housekeeping. Now, every now and then, when the inspiration hits me, I write an article for pwdownunder.com. Recently, I wrote a piece where I argue about why a title doesn't change hands on a disqualification or a countdown. The link is there below and will also be in the description. Now, my wrestling mates at Alpha Pro have 3 shows happening this weekend, starting with the Thursday night, February 20 event, which is called Fallout. Then the midday matinee show, which is called Energy 13, will be on Saturday, February 22, starting at high noon. The Saturday night show on the same day starts at 7 p.m, and the event is called Purpose. The Saturday Arvo show is free, but the 2 nightly shows have prices starting from a low $10, which is close to free. And this is all at Pipeworks in Thomastown, Melbourne. A big thank you to Barbara Goodish, the widow of Bruiser Brody, who has given this show the largest viewership in the short history of this show, If You See Kayfabe. Now, this comment was a very humbling one for me. This person said, "Thanks for the interview. Glad I found you, new subscriber." Thank you. Now, back in my day as a fan, Bruiser was a legend, gone much too soon. Also, condolences to Jim and Stacey Cornett. They lost their beloved Pomeranian dog, Harley Quinn. The bonus episode that Jim dedicated to little Harley was heartfelt and beautiful to listen to. Ballet to Harley Quinn. So time to move some WWE merch and then let the Dynamite go boom. Many people want to make sure they get proper WWE merch. Now, there are 2 ways this can be done, and I'll show them to you now. Now, see here, firstly, you can type in WWE in your search bar, go to the shop link, just like it shows in this demonstration. Or, in this demonstration, use this code and go directly into the shop itself. Yes, it helps the channel. Please use the code and help a wrestling mate. Okay, I haven't watched an entire episode of Dynamite for a while, especially since all of the new streaming deals being put in place. I hear descriptions about episodes every week from Corny and Brian Last, and the odd description from Eric Bischoff and others. But I thought I'd go in cold myself. Now, the opening with the pyro reminded me of the Monday Night Wars for some reason. And from there, they went straight to the ring, where a now heel Platinum Max Caster was trying to proclaim himself the best wrestler in the world. Now, he was immediately rushed by Hangman Adam Page. They had a decent match, which Page won. And apparently Caster lost last week as well. So this best in the world gimmick ain't being booked with much heat. In my opinion, anyway. Then there was a recap of the situation between Swerve Strickland along with Prince Nana, against Ricochet. And Ricochet had stolen Nana's coat. Okay, next. Next was the Undisputed Kingdom, along with Adam Cole, Kayfabe, trying to capture the Trios tag titles from the Death Riders. As some of these folks were making their way to the ring, there was some strange audio. Now, I thought one of the heels were trying to say something to the commentators, but after they played the B-roll of the Undisputed Kingdom winning their title shot in a three-way on the last Collision show, I thought I heard the same thing. The Collision recap finished with Adam Cole telling the Death Riders that they had messed with the wrong Trios after Death Riders had blindsided them post-match twice. This was the mistaken audio played while the combatants entered the ring. When they announced Pac as the Bastard Pac, I thought for a moment that they'd renamed the Death Riders. And having them come to the ring from the lobby looked worse than an indie show. Also, they kept referring to this incarnation of the Death Riders like it's this incarnation. Are they employing the Freebird rule? And also the double tags. Why were they doing double tags? Do they think they can have two guys at the ring at the same time? Basically, the legal tag tags one partner. That partner steps into the ring and then tags the third guy before doing anything else. Now, it was a typical multi-false finish affair. It was somewhat suspenseful because you weren't quite sure which way the story was going. And a low blow basically got the job done for the Riders. Cope and Jay White then attacked Moxley and Marina Shafir. Shafir tried to lock herself in the toilet, so Cope and White couldn't get to the briefcase that she had handcuffed to her wrist. But Cope and White outsmarted her by using bolt cutters to cut the chain and get the briefcase. MJF and Hangman Adam Page had a little promo war backstage, hosted by Renee Paquette, and she was a busy beaver on this night. Next was a good old-fashioned squash match. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata teamed up to take on three enhancement guys that would have been lucky to have had made TV back in the Crockett days of enhancement matches. Shining light was when Samoa Joe looked like he was going to clothesline one of these dudes off the ropes, but instead just playfully tripped him like he was in a schoolyard. Samoa Joe then cut a promo. Not one of his best, because I do like Samoa Joe. He's one of the best big men since Bam Bam Bigelow as far as agility goes. Now, while starting to write all this up, there was women's action going on. Excalibur has a decent speaking voice, but when running through a future card, it didn't sound like a hyper. It was fast and disjointed and sounded like he was going through the T's and C's of a financial commercial. Jericho did a promo backstage talking about his bounty on the head of Bandito. He then challenged Bandito to meet him in the ring. Out in the ring, Jericho got Bandito blindsided by the Bad Apple. These two neon dudes came in, and I think they were the Midnight Rockers tribute act. They tried to take out Jericho and the Bad Apple, but this left an opening for Big Bill to come in and cash in on the bounty. As he was about to get that job done, Powerhouse Hobbs intervened and laid out Big Bill. Then Cope and Jay White challenged Mox to meet them in the ring later to try and reclaim the briefcase they had just took off them. From there, they went to an ad break, and they came out of the ad break with Dustin Rhodes firing up on a promo for his match with MJF. So they had a good match that ends with MJF making Dustin tap out. Dustin humiliates him with a beatdown, only for Hangman to come back out and cause a P6 brawl. Lots of security and agents separating the two, but there was some good heat between the two anyways. The Guns were next taking up on the Hurt Syndicate, of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Now, I saw Shelton last year when he was part of Starcast Down Under. He can still go in the ring, even at 43 or whatever age he is. I wasn't sure how they would frame this match to look anything but a squash match. Now, I know I've previously given the Mr. Miyagi bit about not judging a combatant by their size or stature. But in this case, I know the strengths and weaknesses of each team. I think that the Guns did they made a decent job of making the Guns look decent without insulting anyone's intelligence. The Hurt Syndicate eventually dispatched the Guns, only to have Lance Archer and Brian Cage come to the top of the ramp. The commentators rightfully put this potential feud down as one to watch. It would be good. Now, after some ladies' matches, the main event was about to take place. Now, like many, I'm not fond of this Death Rider stuff. But worse still, are we still calling Cope Cope? Or going back to calling him Adam Copeland? You know, maybe Tony Khan should just buy Cope's old trademark off the WWE, whatever price that may be, and just go back to calling him Edge. So schmoz and schmoz. Marina grabs the briefcase in the confusion. Edge gets his title shot on Mox at Revolution. Edge spears a bunch of heels. Mox nearly got to use a deadly weapon on Jay, only to be saved by Cope. Mox got speared as well. See you all in Australia. So that was Dynamite for the go-home show before they all hopped on a plane for the long haul to the land down under. So now I've got to see Grand Slam at some point. Until then, this is Southern Joe saying hooroo.